Hello, thanks for taking the time to watch my video. Today I want to talk about memorial services and how they differ to a funeral service. Basically, in my opinion, there is one major difference, and that is a funeral has a deceased person in a coffin, whereas a memorial service would usually have an urn of ashes. So let's look at each one individually and why you might choose one over the other. A funeral service is a very traditional way of honouring a life and paying your respects. The presence of a coffin can bring very mixed emotions to different people. Its mere presence can be very upsetting and unsettling for family members and friends, as they do what most humans would do and try and visualise the person in the coffin. And our mind does do crazy things when we're grieving. But this is all completely normal and it's all part of the grieving process. Now, at some funerals, you may be offered the opportunity to view the deceased person and to be able to say your farewells that way. Again, this is a very emotional part of the funeral to go through, and not everyone is emotionally capable of doing that. So a very personal choice with that. Another benefit of having a coffin is the option of pallbearing. Now, pallbearing is the carrying of the coffin in or out of the chapel, and also if it's graveside service, carrying it to the grave. So this is another way for family members and close friends to honour their loved one, and with this time-honoured tradition of respect. Again, this does also come with great emotion, so it's not necessarily for everyone either. Now, at any kind of chapel service, whether it be a funeral or a memorial, you would most likely have music, a slideshow of photos for reflection, a eulogy and guest speakers, and possibly some prayers and tribute poems as well. So this part doesn't change as far as my services go between a funeral or a memorial if it's held in a chapel. So why do people choose a memorial service? There are a couple of factors to consider. Firstly, it is a bit cheaper to have a memorial rather than a funeral because you don't usually have the expense of a coffin, or at least not necessarily a high-end one. A body can actually be cremated in a sheath or literally a cardboard box, and you might find that your loved one has actually left a request in their will, so it's always worth checking on that. You can also save money by having your memorial service in a park or at your own home rather than a chapel. Most people do still choose to have the memorial service just like a funeral in the chapel, but instead of the coffin, there's a lovely setup of a table and an urn and flowers and photos and so forth. You can still have your music and slideshow, a funeral director to take care of your arrangements, and to be able to have your catering all in the one place. People have said to me that they find the urn less confronting than a coffin. Again, this comes down to personal choice. Now, some other options are a small ceremony for the interment of ashes in a memorial garden, or a scattering of ashes in the place that the family member may have requested. This can also involve a ceremonial releasing of doves or butterflies to add to the memorial. You could even intern the ashes on your own property and plant a tree in honour of your loved one. Whatever you decide to do, the whole process is a lot easier and less stressful with the assistance of an experienced celebrant. Please feel free to contact me anytime if you have any questions or if you need some advice. And as always, if a loved one passes away, and you just don't know where to turn or what to do to start arranging a funeral, please just give me a call or send me a message, and I'm more than happy to guide you through that process and recommend an appropriate funeral home and funeral director that suits you and your family and also your budget. My contact details are on my Facebook page, Angel Funerals, Celebrant and End of Life Doula. So I wish you all the best for a happy and healthy 2019. Thanks again for watching, and please share with your family and friends. Thank you.